इसको आदत डालिए इसकी कि कम से कम 7,000 8,000 9,000 स्टेप्स दिन में हो जाए.
पर डे कोता बनिया जी अगर अस वुचो कच मिनट गस इंसान पर डे अक एवरेज नफर exercise या
I think 30 to 40 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes per day, 5 days a week is adequate. Then we have umpteen examples where the patient who was very well controlled stopped his drug and then he lands up within 6 months or 8 months with another episode of heart attack. Similarly about blood thinners. So there are many myths and facts. Obese people are more prone to get diabetes, they're more prone to get heart attacks, they're more prone to get strokes, they're more prone to get cancers, they're more prone to get gallbladder problems.
नाजरीन आप देख ही रहे होंगे फ्रेम में हमारे साथ जो मेहमान इस वक्त हैं कोई तारुफ के मोहताज नहीं है. ही इज़ अ वेल नोन कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट not just in the valley but outside also in the entire country and in the relevant international spaces. He is known for the expertise he has and the work he has done. आज हम उनके साथ सिर्फ इस बात नहीं करेंगे कि मेडिकल साइंस क्या है, जो इनका स्पेसिफिक फील्ड है उसमें क्या क्या चीज़ें हुई है, बल्कि उनकी एक खुसूसियत ये है कि डॉक्टर साहब सिर्फ इलाज नहीं करते हैं, वो लिखते भी बहुत हैं. तो हमारे अपने पेपर में ग्रेटर कश्मीर में उनके दर्जनों आर्टिकल्स आ चुके हैं. Not just on medicine or your own field. You have written on politics, you have written on society, you have written on history. आगाज़ में ही मैं पूछूं आप कि इतने इंटरेस्ट कैसे हैं?
शुरू से ही ऐसा लगा मुझे कि मेडिसिन, कार्डियोलॉजी एंड relevant fields, if you talk only about that, you are not a very good teacher then.
Right.
I have been rated as a good teacher. You need to diversify yourself. And diversification in anything, like as you mentioned that आपने इतनी सारी चीज़ें पे लिखा, मैंने यहाँ पे हर चीज़ पे लिखा, नदरूग पे लिखा हुआ है, हाक पे लिखा हुआ है,
I do remember.
ट्राउट पे लिखा हुआ है, कहाँ से आई. उससे क्या होता है कि आप पढ़ते हैं, क्यों आपको तो स्कूल में नहीं पढ़ाया हुआ ये सब कुछ. उससे आजकल तो it's very easy to get information. You go to Wikipedia and you go to cross references, you get it, and then you write it and you learn and you think that others should also know it. And आपके सिर्फ करने से मुझे satisfaction नहीं होती, मैं लिखता हूँ. And Greater Kashmir is one of my favorite papers for Kashmir people, and I keep on writing in that.
True,
yes.
that's true. And as the editor of the concerned page, I'm your first reader also.
Okay.
So I get to see everything that Dr. Saab writes, and I take my own learnings from whatever he has written and the information that's really very useful for all of us, and it is for common man. Dr. Saab, you touched a very important chord, that you as a teacher, because you believe that you are a very good teacher, as your write-ups explain, there is a revolution in technology now which is impacting your field also. AI, I was just searching, is radiology, which was top-notch choice for the doctors. It's now being replaced by AI technology. What are the shifts that are happening in your field? Because
of cardiology? You see, artificial intelligence has become a part of a routine. And it can be used for beneficial purposes and it can be misused. Now, the patients who come to you, they've already gone through their illness and through the artificial intelligence. They know a lot about it. And then it is your job to not sort of criticize them, to listen to them, and then try to justify good points, and then not to criticize, but then tell them that these are the points which are, nonsense. Like statin group of medicines is very well known to everybody to reduce cholesterol. If you want to find articles against statins, you will find plenty. For statins, plenty. But we know that statins are very useful in a segment of population. तो उसके बारे में जो हमको सिफ्ट करना जो होता है डेटा. So artificial intelligence has to be used with intelligence, your human brain intelligence.
That's true. Dr. Saab, how frustrating it becomes for a doctor like you who sees a number of patients and who has been in this field for decades now. When patients come with lots of information, but they can't actually make sense out of it, and then they presume that they know everything already about this disease. So what does it take, your characteristic or your expertise as a teacher, a clinician, or as somebody who has this common sense of looking at people in a way that this is an impact of a new technology, and
Yes.
people are yet to understand how to use it and what to use of it. So how frustrating it becomes at
It
times.
becomes a irritating. I'll say not frustrating, irritating that the guys spent maybe 1 day or 2 days reading it. Here it is talking to a person who has spent 45 years in that
Lifetime.
subject, lifetime in that area, and how it has evolved. So you don't expect him to know everything, but at the same time he is well informed about things. So as I told you, it has to be put in perspective. These are the things which are correct, these are the things which are not correct, and I would give examples to them regarding some of the patients who did not use it, and then their chance of getting a heart attack increased. And if you don't believe in that cholesterol is low, then we have umpteen examples where the patient who was very well controlled stopped his drug, and then he lands up within 6 months or 8 months with another episode of heart attack. Similarly about blood thinners. So there are many myths and facts. So one has to sort of sift between the myths and facts, emphasize upon the facts, at the same time not to sort of brush aside that person's knowledge, whatever he has got, so that he should leave convinced that this is what it is right, and then tell him, okay, you try it for 2 months or 6 weeks and come back, and then tell me how do you feel
Is
about
it
it.
over time changing the patient behavior? You as a doctor, you must be, of course, be taught in your trainings how to deal with the patient. But now a different kind of a patient is coming to you. How are you factoring that into your trainings and teaching?
See, there are two kinds of patients. One is a group of patients who have been coming to me for the last 15, 20 years, and they have full faith.
Exactly.
They come with the information, then they very, cautiously ask about this. Sir, ye hai, should I start it? It's very easy to handle them. Yes, something has come. It's not proven. It is just being in,
So the element of trust is there.
initial phases. So there's another patient who's come for the first time, or a type of patient who has visited 10 doctors for his illness. Classical example is angiography करा लिया और किसी ने कहा सर्जरी, दूसरे के पास गया, उसने कहा नहीं इसमें तो कुछ ज़रूरत नहीं, इसमें अच्छे से दवाई का, तीसरे ने कहा I can open these arteries in half an hour's time and you will be fine. No, he gets totally confused. Now he might like to listen to the biggest name out of them. That biggest name may not be the best name because he is sort of one-sided. He has a bias. So that is the kind of patient where you have to explain him gently and you have to spend time with him. You have to spend 10-15 minutes telling him why you think this particular person is good for medical treatment and why you think this particular patient is not good for angioplasty stents. You should go for bypass surgery. So you have to explain him, give justification, maybe at times talk about the literature, scientific literature, that this is what the guidelines say, this is what the American guidelines say, this is what the European guidelines say, and this is what the Indian guidelines say. And this is what, there are some subjects which are debatable.
Okay.
We could tell them, 2B evidence. Class 1 means 100% it has to be done.
It's not true.
3 means totally negative,
Right.
not to be done, contraindicated. 2A means more data which says yes, 2B says more data, no.
This is no.
Less data for yes. So you have to explain.
that is the categorization.
That is the categorization. These are some disputed areas, controversial areas, but they have to be handled by this kind of, what is the guideline, what is the evidence-based medicine saying it.
Okay. Doctor, something about the patient behavior here, because you are the finest person, you are the best person to actually explain this to us. You not only, see patients here, you have a vast, area where you have worked outside. Is there any cardinal difference between the patient behavior here in Kashmir and outside? And what is that?
Well, the Kashmiri patient is usually well informed. He is compliant. Most of them will not give up the drug till you tell them. And they listen to you. They ask you questions. You need to be patient with them. Then there are some patients from outside Kashmir. I would say some patients from, not of Kashmiri origin, but from Jammu area.
Okay.
They are confused because there are still systems of medicine which are not what we call as modern medicine. You have to respect those systems also. It's not, every system is not like Ayurveda or homeopathy. Alternative systems are not junk. They are some good for some chronic diseases where you don't have an answer. You may give some steroids and just like an asbestos on the fire, extinguish it for 5 minutes, it comes again. So those are the persons. This is different. So like patients which I see in Delhi, I see all kinds of patients there. So there are some patients who are not at all informed, but at the same time they will not agree to take the medicine for a long time. There are some patients who need, say, aspirin or anti-platelet or a blood thinner for life. They would take it for a few months. डॉक्टर साहब खुजली आती है, डॉक्टर साहब थोड़ा ब्लड आता है तो बंद कर देते हैं. किसी ने मुझे बताया इसको बंद कर दो, इससे ये हो जाता है. या क्लासिकल एग्जाम्पल इज हाई ब्लड प्रेशर. सर 5 साल हो गए खाते हुए, अब तो छोड़ दो. So that is again one of the worst things if a person whose blood pressure is controlled with 3 medicines and he now stops it. So once again you have to be very persuasive.
Right.
You have to tell them and then give them examples. And sometimes I do if I have a busy OPD. 2 or 3 patients are there who have had a stroke, who had a stroke because of high blood pressure and they were taking their blood pressure casually. Call them and tell them, इनको ज़रा आप बात करिए, आपने क्या गलतियाँ करी थी, फिर क्या भुगतना पड़ा आपको. So patient explains to the patient much better because he says that
the doctor explaining to the patient.
That's right.
Doctor Saab, you have been also writing about, if I remember those write-ups, you have been writing about the development of medical education here in Kashmir. I still remember that when you give it a sort of a chronological order to it, there were missionary hospitals, and then in the Dogra period we had some good hospitals coming up, and then after this popular government we have extraordinary tertiary care hospitals, and of late this decision of the government of India to develop medical colleges and the associated hospitals in almost all the districts. How is it panning out for the medical education? Are the standards getting down, or it is actually spreading to the corners where it was not earlier?
I think the first very good thing which has been done, that the infrastructure in terms of more medical colleges has been started. And now there is also another All India Institute Medical Sciences kind of a hospital coming in Avantapura. So that's, I think, is going to be completed. The issues right now are that they have been made on paper, but getting adequate trained staff is a challenge in those medical colleges. So right now it is being done, some staff from the SMHS hospital, which is a government medical college, Srinagar, is taken on deputation. So because there is no other way. And getting good teachers is not easy now, because many doctors, after they do their post-graduation, are more interested in going to places where they can earn money, which is a fact. There is a need also. But at the same time, these two things don't go on very well together. If you spend only 4 or 5 hours in the hospital, teaching hospital, and early morning till 10 o'clock you stay in your clinic, and then you're in a rush to see your patients at 5 o'clock to 12 midnight, or depending upon how busy you are. So you can't give your best. So government has put in this no practicing allowance and all that. These things have worked to some extent. In some institutions they have worked very well, like in Sowra, SKIMS, it has worked quite well. And so you need, at the time of selection, you have to be very, very, choosy. You have to look into the patient, the doctor's, perspective. What is his, attitude, and that you can find out if you're talking to a person for half an hour. What are your, what do you want to do? A doctor who is interested in writing papers, if somebody has already written in the last 2 years 3 or 4 good papers in, well-indexed journals, this is the kind of person who is, likes all this. On the other hand, a person has no such thing. He is jumping from here to here. That is, and then exaggeration of their skills is another problem you have to be choosy about. I was in a private corporate. I worked in government hospitals, corporate hospitals, trust hospitals, so I know.
So you know this landscape entirely.
I know this in time. And like in a corporate hospital, doctor comes. I'm a cardiologist, so I'll give you an example of cardiology. भाई कितने आप एंजियोप्लास्टी कर लोगे महीने में? सर मैं पहले तो 40-50 तो करता ही हूँ. अब आपकी इतनी अच्छी फैसिलिटी है तो 100 पेशेंट तो मैं कर ही लूँगा. अच्छा.
A
month. अच्छा. तो then they start bargaining. अच्छा 100 करोगे तो then he asks for
the crude calculation.
Crude calculation. सर फिर तो 5 करोड़ लूँगा महीने के. अब उन्हें नया कॉर्पोरेट हॉस्पिटल खोला है तो मान जाता है 5 कर 3.5 कर देता है. Then what happens is the first 10 days, 15 days, he does 2, 3, 4 patients. Then what happens? Then they start looking for patients. And then every tiny block to their eyes looks like a very significant block. In short, they start doing unnecessary procedures, unnecessary pacemakers, unnecessary stents, unnecessary surgeries. So that becomes...
It is something patently exploited.
Which is... I think in our system, there has to be an auditing.
Okay. Yeah. On this auditing, what can be the way of, if government starts auditing these hospitals? There haven't been many people who say this in public space, and we haven't seen any appetite in government, in the departments of the government, that we should go for an audit, that whether the patient was qualified for a surgery or not. When is this going to start? Is it an area we need to put light on?
I think it starts in fits and starts, थोड़ा सा किया उसके बाद फिर रुक गए.
What holds them back?
I think the connections of the doctor and other things, उसी का जान पहचान का निकलता है, then he gets a telephone call, या रहने दो. Otherwise it's very easy, go to any center, busy center, pick up 50 patients data,
random sampling
करके शाम को 2 दिन में देख लिया भाई किस में क्या था, तो पता चल जाएगा.
So people are not wrong when they say these corporate, particularly corporate hospitals, corporate medical facilities, it is in a way they are running a scandal. Yeah. In many cases. Dr. Saab, you have for many years now, you have had a special attention towards Kashmir. You established certain facilities here. Tell us something about that. How did one, because you were busy in Delhi and other metropolitan cities, how did this occur to your mind that I should get back to Kashmir?
See, 2020 we got an idea, 2019 actually, that I should do something in Kashmir. And I started from a place, although I was coming to Kashmir every year, lot of time spent, but I had never gone to North Kashmir. Kupwara nahi dekha tha. Ka chalo Kupwara chalte hain. So we went to Kupwara, and that is in 20. And we did some camps. Right. And we felt that the medical system in the periphery was not good. In fact, in the centers which we went after taking permission. Atal Dullu Saab was looking after the health that time.
Right.
So उनसे
current chief secretary.
Current chief secretary. तो उनसे permission लेके हम कई जगह गए. तो वहाँ हमने देखा कि even in a hospital which is giving free medicines for blood pressure control, 55% of people are not controlled with blood pressure. We published it also in our journal. And we also felt that let us do some camps, and we got the data. We found large number of patients, diabetes not controlled, diabetes not diagnosed, and the new drugs which have come in the last 10 years, many of them nobody heard of them. So that told us that something has to be done. There's a gap, and then we opened a foundation called Gauri Kaul Foundation, as you know, in 2021, right. April 21. And then we felt that देखो ये कैंप करने से इतना काम नहीं चलेगा, हम इतना कुछ करते हैं, let us open centers. Okay. So we opened one center in city in Chandpura, and then one center in a remote outreach area called Hall, which is 6 kilometers towards Shopian on the main highway in Pulwama district. Okay. And that is the center which I think really gives me so much of satisfaction to work because, again, in Shopian area, large population, I think at least 2 lakh log रहते हैं
Because it's a very populous.
very populous area. Medical system is not good. The district hospitals there either don't have facilities or doctors. The other thing is that, doctors who do post-graduation, they don't want to stay in there. They want to all come to city, Srinagar, which is understandable.
Dr. Sahab, you mentioned many things here. One, तोय वो चीज़ कि यम जन हायर एजुकेशन मेडिसिन निवान पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन करान तिमन मन नेचुरली अख फीलिंग गसान कि बह हेक लक्टिस एरियास मज रूज क्या आई वांट टू एक्सप्लोर माई सेल्फ एंड एक्सप्लोर बिगर एवेन्यूज अख सह चीज़ गसान सेकंड वोनू तो यह चीज़ कि व्हेन यू वेंट टू नॉर्थ कश्मीर कुपवारा वगैरह गई तुम तत वो तुम डेटा गो यह चीज़ जमा कि देर आर मेनी गैप्स वातान इलाज तौर तक कहें एज एन एक्सपर्ट अगर तुह नश यो जानन कि वनकस जन मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज अवेलेबल सैनिस स्टेटस मज पर्टिकुलरली कश्मीर वैली मज मेजर गैप कत अत ये पान वुचान जन टर्शरी केयर हॉस्पिटल्स या मेन डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल्स दे आर ऑल ओवर क्राउडेड बर्स्टिंग ऑन द सीम्स पेरिफरीजन मज अगर ठीक ठाक हॉस्पिटल्स ति मगर कम क्या गसान ये मेजर गैप्स कित करूँ तुम हाउ कैन यू आइडेंटिफाई दोज 2-3 major gaps where the government and the private sector and those who are in this charitable space, all of them need to collectively focus on that and fill those gaps.
One of the things is that shortage of trained doctors for the. Number 2 is equipment order karne ke baad, that equipment working.
Okay.
That has to be supervised. That has to be seen. तो उसमें गैप आ जाता है. तीसरा गैप इसके अंदर आ जाता है कि शॉर्टेजेस ऑफ सम इम्पॉर्टेंट ड्रग्स. That is, these are 2 or 3 very important gaps. Making a medical college, like we have now many medical colleges, is very good. I know that it's going to take some time before they become totally functional. But अभी पूरा बना भी नहीं है तो उसको चालू करना because government has to show its timeline पे शुरू हो गया हमारा ये इसमें सिलेबस में हमने लिखा था टाइमलाइन में वो पूरा हुआ नहीं होता तो उसके अंदर जो
take the checklist.
and then the bureaucratic system of बजट बनाना उसका फिर क्या कहते हैं इतना वो टेंडर निकालना उसका वो करना. We have to sort of streamline these gaps of bureaucratic gaps इसमें. How to procure the things at an early date. Make a committee जिसका बता के भाई इस जगहों में ये चीज़ लगानी है ये वाली मशीन वहाँ पे लगानी है तो इकट्ठे ही लगा लो. Give that company a bigger order and then how to maintain that. Maintenance is a very important part of the equipment in remote areas. In difficult, जाना ही नहीं चाहता कोई ख़राब हो गया तो it takes 10 days, 15 days. जैसे आज I think I read in the papers that the cath lab of SMHS Medical College is there. It's just not functioning. Now everybody has to register again and go to Shireen Bagh. So ये जब आपके सामने शहर में हो रहा है I don't think there is dearth of money in that. But it's how to channelize it and how to take a decision. So I think that is one of the important things.
What you have underlined is that the efficiency of the system, you will have to work on that. Achha, Dr. Sahab, you said that we have now this infrastructure all in place of medical colleges. But right now, we don't have the human resource for that. We may be not having the right kind of or adequate equipment in those medical colleges. By the time we get all this, we get trained doctors, we get the equipment there. The students there are graduating from one grade to another grade. The damage would be done because we'll have the batches who will be very deficient in terms of their exposure to equipment. So how will you compensate for this later? How will you fill that gap later? Because in hundreds you will have these doctors and they're all meritorious students.
I think after they graduate and one has to identify their gaps and then for refresher courses or short-term courses, short-term observations in bigger places, high-volume places where work is being done. स्किम्स हो गया या SMHS के अंदर या शीरीन बाग के अंदर जहाँ पे अच्छा काम हो रहा है वहाँ उनको भेजो for this thing and then also evaluate them. I think evaluation of what they have learnt is extremely important, and basically it's not to criticize them but to make them better doctors. And doctors also understand what are their shortcomings and try to identify what are the strengths of a particular doctor and what are the weaknesses. Now, strengths जिसमें है उसको उसी एरिया के ऊपर गाइड करिए, वहाँ पे जाइए. A person who is not interested in gastroenterology, don't push him into gastroenterology. Take
so
him
give
to
them the field is where they are
that's
strong.
It, that's it.
Dr. Saab, there is one area which has come up for public discussion and also in the government. That is the case of reservations. Reservations is a broader subject. We'll not talk about that. But some people say that when you go for the post-graduation courses in medicine, when you have this reserved quota there also, it defeats the purpose. Because once a student who comes from a background which is marginalized, economically backward, okay, affirmative action accepted, but now he stays there for 5 years. So almost all the disadvantages are now gone. When you give them this advantage of reservation, even in on specialized courses, you are actually not just defeating the meritorious, open merit students, you are actually defeating the merit itself. How is that? How far is that true for medical? Because this is a very sensitive area. You are treating a patient. It's a matter of life and death. So how careful government should be on this, and how that should factor into reviving this entire reservation debate.
Mahmood sir, I fully understand what you're trying to say. Is that reservation has to be there because there are marginalized communities and this thing. Give them admissions for MBBS. But after they have become doctors,
stop it there.
This 5 years they have spent. After that, when you go for a post-graduation, then don't go on giving them. Good ones to go there. I mean, some of the, SC, ST or whatever, OBCs, those classes, some of them are good.
Yeah.
So don't select MD and give them weightage there. All of them should appear in the same exam. And then because they have already spent 5 to 6 years, they have become doctors now. And only specialization should be done by those doctors who are equivalent in terms of their knowledge and other things. Because, patient who comes should get the best possible treatment.
That's
and the best
non-negotiable.
Best possible treatment will be given by the best trained person. And when you select them for this specialization and super specialization, at that stage, I don't think we should not be having this reservation at that stage. Similarly, after they have become qualified doctors, qualified cardiologists, at that stage, becoming a professor or head of department of cardiology, now again you keep a reservation. So I don't think it is justified there. They have spent 15 years in the profession. Now you have to face the, interview and to be judged on merit because you've got enough time for that. At that stage, I don't think we should be, getting into this.
Clause of reservation.
That's my very strong personal opinion.
That's something that resonates with everything that comes on reservation. Dr. Saab, you have been writing about, you have a way of popularizing the healthcare issues when you write about it. Give us some 2-3 tips for having a healthy heart. It's you also have been emphasizing on this, that if you have a very good lifestyle, most of the problems related to heart or any other problems can be checked in well in advance. What are those key? And this not just the general recommendations or advice, this based on the data that you have collected from this place, that what are those 2-3 things that the population here need to do or not to do so that they avoid the complications later in their life?
So one of the very important things which I am seeing in the lifestyle, obesity. You see, obesity is highly prevalent. I think 30% or 35% of our population is obese. It's a huge number. And obesity itself is a disease. We have to recognize that obesity is just not looking fat and all that. It is a disease in itself. It has to be recognized. It has to be talked about. And then talk about the things which are associated with obesity. Obese people are more prone to get diabetes, they're more prone to get heart attacks, they're more prone to get strokes, they're more prone to get cancers, they're more prone to get gallbladder problems, they're more prone to get joint problems, they're more prone to get some inflammatory diseases.
Dozens of risks associated.
Dozens of this. So I think a healthy lifestyle, which does not cost you much, is what you eat. I think, and that has to be inculcated early in the life. Eating more of fruits, vegetables, salads, which are not very expensive. You don't have to go for the most exotic, expensive fruit. That should be very thing. And then slowly, I think, if we're talking of Kashmir, we have to very strongly talk about reducing our carbohydrate intake. We take plenty of carbohydrate, too much of carbohydrate. Rice is full of carbohydrate. First thing in the morning, we get up and sochur, kandir chur, that is full of maida. And then if you see at random triglycerides of any Kashmiri, they're high. They're 250, 300. And one of the causes is what we eat. So what we eat is very, very important. And other thing is burning the calories. Exercising. Make it a habit. Make it a habit. इसको आदत डालिए इसकी कि कम से कम 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 स्टेप्स दिन में हो जाए.
पर डे कोता बनिया जी अगर इस विचो कच मिनट गस इंसान पर डे अक एवरेज नफर exercise या
I think 30 to 40 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes per day, 5 days a week is adequate. That would, if you in terms of talk about steps, because most of us have these days phones with this thing. 8,000 steps if you do it, 8,000 plus per day is good enough. I think you should look at it in the evening. आज मेरे कितने हुए steps और अगर कम है तो थोड़े से करके आ जाओ. So that not only gives you feeling of fitness, that also checks your weight, that also checks your cholesterol, triglycerides and many other things. And the people who are taking medicines for these, the doses of those medicines, the number of tablets they will have to will significantly come down. Yeah, blood pressure will come down, sugar will be better controlled.
Dr. Sahab, मे अक्सर तुहंदन राइट्स ऑप्शन मज वुचमुत कि यम जन लोकली ग्रोन वेजिटेबल्स तुम अक्सर आसान तिमन हंद तस्कर कर वन वी हैव अ नॉस्टैल्जिक वैल्यू फॉर दैट कल्चरल वैल्यू मगर तुम ये आसान अक्सर मे वुचमुत ये आम पे वन हाक बत खेवान यह बासान जन गुरबत निशानी मगर तुहद एम्फेसिस हाकस पे आसान सह बह अक्सर एप्रिशिएट करान कि सो सब्जी कॉमनली अवेलेबल घर ते हेको खलित बाजरस मज अवेलेबल यम सब्जी ये खसान तिम कूचा अहम सानि खतर युस जन हेल्दी हार्ट
I think the green vegetables, sabuz sabzi yus asan ch hawk is one of the best things which is पूरा साल मिलता है और different seasons में different variety, the taste is very different. Winter में बैठे हुए आजकल देखिए कितना soft होता है तो फिर seasonal सत्सल आती है फिर वस्ता खाता है. There are so many varieties. Manji Iwan, Manju Hawk. So all these things are very, very useful. They are, nice to eat and consume them in plenty. Consume them in plenty and reduce the amount of rice. Take more of palak, take more of hawk. And then out of, we grow so many fruits.
But not cooked in too much oil.
Yes, of course. Yes, butter hawk. Butter hawk is just boiled with 1 spoon of mustard oil, hari mirchi ek dali, or that is the kind of thing. If you cook it in oil and this thing, you defeat the purpose. You burn all the good things. You burn antioxidants. पूरा खत्म गसा इथे पे fish is good. No, इस कैसे आसन fish कैसे बनिन या बतस जोद करी. उसमच की पच तील तत बचन सुच इति थमा पत देमिस त्रावन
तुहंद वनुन छु ये कि इस आम इंसान सिन खतर यम जन वछान आसन तिहंद खतर छु ज्यादा जरूरी कि खानस मन छु मजा योत वछुन के खानस मन छु असली तमिक हेल्थ बेनिफिट्स मज खतर छु ओकेजनली इंसान हेकान वायलेट त मगर रूटीनस मन गस आसन ये. Dr. Sahab, you said many things. This is a continuous debate. We can talk about the healthcare as a system, medicine as a practice, behavior of the patients, lifestyle, everything. This discussion will go on. Right now, if we conclude this conversation with you, that one thing which is very crucial for all of us so that we keep a healthy heart, just one thing, what would be that?
I think I would say that out of all that, exercise. Be active, whether it is winter, whether it is summer, activity that will reduce your weight, that will keep you fit, that will have a good sense of good well-being coming. So I think out of all that, एक्सरसाइज. उसके बाद आप खाने पीने में थोड़ा इधर उधर गड़बड़ भी कर दो.
की फैक्टर इज एक्सरसाइज.
की फैक्टर जिस दिन आपने ज़्यादा खाया उस दिन आप ज़्यादा एक्सरसाइज कर लो. You have to earn that.
आम पच्चो there is one you call it a myth, you call it a misconception कि that when it is winters the temperature is low, you shouldn't walk too much. How far is that correct? I remember in one of the articles you said that it is a myth, it is not a real.
It is a myth.
So if you can repeat it for our.
I think विंटर समर सब में एक्सरसाइज होनी चाहिए. अब विंटर में आप अपना टाइम ढूंढ लीजिए. लाइक अपने से शुरू करता हूँ. मैं तो 5:30 बजे दुनिया के किसी भी कोने में हूँ, एक्सरसाइज वॉक पे निकल जाता. 5:30. आज भी जैसे मैं सुबह निकला, इट वाज आई थिंक माइनस होगा, -2-3. मोटा एक जैकेट से एवरीबडी हैज क्लोथ्स दिस डेज.
So the only thing that you will have to take care of is to keep yourself
just keep yourself warm, moderately warm, and when you do brisk walking, अपने आप गर्मी आ जाती है. और एक वो मफलर लगा लिया है, जैसे भी आपको टोपी पहन ली, and then when you come back you feel that you have achieved something, you have done something for the day. So वो आपको हमेशा आदत रखनी ही रखनी चाहिए.
Thank you, Dr. Sab. This is something if you keep on exercising, if you walk. So as they say that an apple a day keeps a doctor away, so Dr. Cole says that if you exercise, you can keep him away. So that's a good news for you. Dr. Sab, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure to be here.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you and have a conversation on n number of topics. Inshallah, next time we meet, maybe we can have a discussion on culture and history, because you are not just a doctor. Your interests are varied, and you are passionate about certain things.
Always.
Next time, timan cheezan perti karo. For now, to aite hamo ijazat. Thank you, Dr. Sab.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.